I think it's easy to say that Nas not only is one of the best lyricists and hip hop artists of all time, but could be goated maybe as the best storytelling rapper of all time. It seems like the East Coast rappers are really good at that, right? We had Biggie last
Right.
time, Slick Rick,
Right.
Rakim back in the day. You could even look at Ghostface Killah, Nas.
Yeah.
Like these Coast guys know how to tell a damn story about rapping.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Dude, so this track, so it's off of Nas' second album, right? So everybody knows that Illmatic is a classic,
Mhm.
unskippable project, what put him on the map. But it
Right.
was written his second project, bro. Damn near has the same vibe, a little gritty, a little grimier, but like every track's amazing.
Right.
But there's one track on there called "I Gave You Power," and Nas is basically it's so unique because Nas is basically telling the story in the perspective of a gun, as
Yeah.
if he's the gun himself,
Yes.
right? So you know this track, you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
absolutely. I think it's definitely probably top two best storytelling songs, at least for me.
Yeah, yeah. And dude, just some notable bars, but the chorus itself, basically is like, "How you like me now? I go blow." It's that moving in the crowds, making every ghetto foul. But when he does that blow, dude, it's just
Yeah.
the blow. That shit's hard. But dude, just some notable bars, and I ain't ashamed to say I got them pulled up, ready to go.
No,
But
no, that's preparedness. That's
yeah,
preparedness.
and bro, the way he starts it off, he said, look how they use a monk. You know what I'm saying? Look how they use me.
Yeah.
Whatever they want, that's how they use me. And then he's like, basically goes, I'm like a gun. I'm like a gun. The way they
Mhm.
use me. And then, dude, like part of verse one, he's like, I was made to kill. That's why they keep me concealed under car seats. They sneak me in clubs. Been in the hands of mad thugs. They feed me when they load me with mad slugs. They pull me out. I watch dudes scatter, make me kill, but what I feel, it never mattered. But just just the way he wrote it, and it's unique because I don't know any other song that's from the perspective of a gun, and then him painting the picture of being in these grimy situations, being pulled out in these hostile situations, and people being mad when they use them. Yeah, I think it's one of the most slept on storytelling tracks that might be out there.
Yeah, honestly, I think just that whole album, he took a really cool like way of like making things from a different perspective, I think, on that album where Illmatic I feel like was obviously just autobiographical, but then the second
Yes.
album I feel like he was able to kind of step out and almost go into like a director lens. So he went from like being a good
Yes.
craftsman of like similar to an actor, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna get to the directing. I'm gonna give you a vision. I'm gonna give you a whole concept, and this whole album is gonna take you on those different stories.
Yeah, dude. Well described, man. Because you're right. Yeah, Illmatic was more autobiographical. It was his intro
Hmm.
to the world, and then he took kind of a darker, grimier approach. Havoc, I think, produced some of the tracks,
Right.
and it was written. But yeah, man. I mean, for those who may not know much about old school hip hop, go back, do your research,
Yeah.
peep the whole it was written album. But that track right there, "I Gave You Powers," it stands the test of time.
Right. It's interesting because I liked when like John Singleton started making films in the 90s where he captured a lot of West Coast culture. I
Yes.
wish there was like I wish there was like a Ryan Coogler of that time on the East Coast that was able to make great New York films. I think we missed the boat on what could have been a really cool series of movies that would have been based on music or New York rap
Well,
culture.
Juice was probably the closest to that, right? I mean, it was a little bit earlier, kind of in the day. I think that movie was shot in the '80s, early '90s. But yeah, Juice had that. But I get what you're saying. John Singleton really captured, West Coast life and young life at
Right.
that time, what it was like. And yeah, it's a good point.